Okay, so first let me introduce myself. So hi, I'm Gopalakrishnan. So I have total 3 years of experience. So currently I'm working in Infosys and this is my first talk, and thank you Sunny for giving me this opportunity. Let's start. Okay, so now today talk is like event bubbling and capturing. So now we are going to see like how event bubbling and capturing is working in the browser and the use cases. Okay, um, so first let's understand what is events. Okay, so events are actions or occurrence that happen in a browser. Consider if users are clicking on a button or hovering over some element or resizing a browser window, so these action we'll call it as a event. Okay, uh, so the event, there's a event flow. So when users are clicking on a button, so how the event flow is happening? Is it from either top to target element or target to top element? So this is like this is called like the flow, the propagation, we'll call it as a event flow. Okay, so let's see like what is event capturing. So event capturing, if the event flow is happening from top element to the target element. So consider if you click on a element, if you click on element, the target element, so then what will happen, the event flow will happen from like window, document, HTML body, then it will just reach to the target. So nowadays the event capturing is not a default behavior of modern browser, but you can enable by using a JavaScript code. Let's see demo. Okay, so here you can see there's a 5 nested element, that some where some CSS. Okay, so there are 5 nested element like 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the center box. Okay, now see how the flow is happening. So once I click on this center box will be the target element. Okay, now when I click on this, first the flow is happening from top to the target. So we added some just animations to show, so it will easy to understand. Okay, now let's see how we implemented it. So before to see that capturing, let's see first how to register a element, in how to register a element. Okay, so to register a event listener to a specific element, we can use a add event listener. Okay, so before that we need to capture the element, like you can use get element by id or query selector or query selector. Also what I'm doing here, I'm just getting all this capture element, then I'm just looping and just registering the event like add event listener. So don't worry about this code, we'll just we'll see in couple of slides like what these are doing. Okay, so this add event listener accept 3 parameters. One is like first argument is like type of event, like click on change or key up, key down, like that. So next one is a callback, like we'll call it as a event handler. So okay, so second argument, like here in this callback only we used to write our logics, and then third argument is optional. So by default the value is false, and the default it will be like bubble. So to implement the event capture, we need to change the third argument to true. Okay, so let's see. So what I'm doing, I'm just registering event, I'm just registering event to the each of these capture element. Then I'm just running this callback function. So and don't worry about this, this is just to add that animation effect, like adding a class and removing class at a particular time. So this is how event capture will work. Okay, the next we'll see the event bubbling. So event bubbling is the opposite of event capture. So when you click on the target element, so it will bubble up, so it will just move to the from target to the top element. Okay, so nowadays like all modern browser have a default behavior, event bubbling is a default behavior. Let's see the demo now. So consider the same example, but if I click on this target element, so the center box will be our target element. I'm going to click on that. So the how we will define target element means like if you where users are clicking on the element, that element will mark it as a target. So if I click on this, you can see, so from target to it just bubbling up to the top element. Okay, so this is how bubble will happen. So so the difference between like to implement the event capture and bubble is just simple. So if you just mention true in that argument, it will be like event capturer. But if you either just remove the third argument or else just change to false. So in that case it will just behave a event bubbling. So event bubbling is a default behavior, so by default it will just bubble up. So you can see from target to the top. Okay, so now we'll see now when users are clicking on this element, it will just now let's see like what this event. So event handler, we have one argument like event, so we can see like what are the event properties are there. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'll just print this console so you'll understand. Okay, so when I click on this center element, just a moment. Yeah, so if I click on the center element, you can see it emit like 5 event. So there are 5 there are 5 nested elements are there are 5, so it emit a 5 event. So it means like from target to this top, like that. Okay, so if you open this, you can see there are so many properties are like bubbles, cancel bubble, and then current target, and target where is that, event phase, and target, and then path. So like this path means like is getting flow, right? If you see here, the flow is like the flow is happening from window, document, HTML, body, and then like div 1, id 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in path you will just see the whole flow, the out bubbling up as if it is captured, the order will different. So here this path will you can use to see the how flow is happening. Okay, so first let's see what is target and current target. Okay, so there are a property like current target and target. Okay, so what I will do now, I'll just print the target. So what I'm doing, I'm just extracting the target, current target, event phase bubble from the event. So I'll just print this target. So now see, if I click on this center div, so it's printing the 5 because this center div is a means id 5 element. So throughout the flow, this element didn't change. So you can see, even if I click on this second element, so it just, there will be a 2 bubble like so it's just printing the target. The target didn't change like during the event flow. But in case of current target, if I click on this element, you can see the means the current target is the one means is one that is currently running handler. So when I click on this element, so this element is a id of 5, then if I then it will flow to the next element. So that time it will, the current handler is 4, means this 4, the it will run this event handler, then 3, 2, 1. So it will just go to the like it will just flow to the from like body, HTML, document, window, like that. Okay, so this is the difference between target and current target. So the target element won't change during the event flow, but in the current target will show the currently running handler. Okay, so this is the difference between current target versus current target. Okay, so what is it, event bubbles? Okay, so the event bubble, so if event like if a bubble is happening in the DOM or anything, so that time the particular will just show the true like bubbles. Okay, so if I show here first event, just a moment, is okay. So you can see the bubble is true, means bubble is true means like even bubble is happening. So in that case, like it will just boolean value and read only value, means read only property. So if bubble is happening in the term, then it will just show true. If bubble is not happening, then it will just show false. Okay, so what I will do now, I will print this bubble for each event handler. Okay, so now when I click on this element, you can see it prints 5 times. Okay, so this means like bubbling is happening. So this is a difference, like what's a bubble. Okay, so next one is event phase. Okay, so event phase is also a read only memory, so it will help you to it will help you to check like even like which phase is currently running. Okay, so you can see these are the constant, it's a default value. So if I run this event phase, if I run this here, you can see event dot none is a 0 and event dot at target means the so let's see the difference. Means event dot none is 0 means like no event is triggered. If in DOM, like if the value is event dot at underscore target, means that event 4 is in current phase, and if 3 means it's in bubbling phase, and 1 means capturing phase. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just print this event phase. To understand better, I'll just print both event current target and event phase. Okay, so when I click on this element, you can see the 5. So first the id 5 element is the value, event phase value is 2, and other remaining element like 4 3 2 1 values are 3. So 2 means, you can see the 2 is means target, so the event 4 is in target phase. So the user clicked on this element, so that's why this is a target, so that's why the value is 2. So remaining is get bubbling up. So then the event phase value will be 3, so is bubbling up, it's just going up, so the remaining is 3. If we enable a capture, I'll just change to true. If you see now, so the capture means it will flow from top to target, right? So first it will just run this one id 1, so the event phase value is 1. If you see here, that is in capturing phase, and it will just flow to the target. So once it reach the target element, so the value is 2, means it's in target phase. So this is how we can use this property to identify, and even we can improve the logic also by using these properties like bubbles, event phase, current target, and target. Okay, then now what we'll do, we'll use this property, means like event phase and current target, to improve this demo, like whatever we showed. Okay, so description demo. Okay, so here what I did, I added both event capturing and bubbling the element. Okay, so so if you add both event capturing, bubbling in the browser, means like in which order should exit, like it should exit first event bubbling then event capturing, or it should execute first event capturing plus event then event bubbling. So just remember, always it will just execute first event capturing, then it will execute the event bubbling. Okay, so in this demo, so I just enable both the event capture and event bubbling. Okay, so when you click on this target element, see first it will just complete the bubbling phase. So from capture to target, from top to target, then it from target to parent, means top. Okay, so first it will just run the capture phase, then it will do a bubbling phase. So it's not only center, even if you click anywhere, means any element. So see first, so the third one is the target, so it will just bubble up, first capture and bubble up. Okay, so the code is, so now what I did, in a object I just made a like event target, means I just added a class, and for bubble, like these are the color to indicate that. Then what I'm doing, while adding a class, I'm just using like just pick this value based on the event phase. So in this case, like we can see clearly like how even phase and bubbling is happening and in which order. Even though I added a even bubbling in past, like before even capture, so first it executing the event capture only. Okay, so till now any doubt? Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, so now let's see what's a practical use case we can implement, like to implement this event bubbling and capturing. Okay, so first let's see the bubbling part. Okay, so in dev code, in previously we had a DOM code challenge. In DOM code challenge, the challenge 2, I guess. So the question was to build this pixel art, pixel art to, so when user clicking on this cell, the cell color should change to the black, or they can change. Okay, so consider, so this grid is at 20 into 20 cross 20. Okay, so now there are 400 cells are there. If we attach even listener to all the 400 cell, then it will degrade our performance. Like consider if users are increasing the grid size, then the even listener also it will just increase. Okay, so in that case, like how we can improve the performance is, instead of attaching a even listener to each cell, we can attach a even listener to the parent element. Then when users are clicking on this cell, that time the event will bubble up. We can capture that event, then we can change the particular cell color. I think this is a best example to show the like event delegation of bubbling. Okay, so now we'll see the event capturing. Okay, so now you have some question like, is it like all events will do a bubble up? No. So there are some events it won't bubble up. Okay, so consider like focus, blur, resize, it won't bubble up. Okay, in that case we can use a event capturer. Okay, so to show you a better understanding, first I will just make it as a event bubble. So what I did, I attached a two event listener to this form. Okay, form element. Let me just reload. So I have attached two event listener to this form, like one is focus and one is blur. So if you see here, if I click on this element, nothing is happening, because like even bubble is not happening. So means no action is taken. Okay, so now what I will do, I will make it to like event capture. So if you see now, so because of event capturing, like both events are triggering. If I just focus out from this element, it just changing color to the default, else just pink. Okay, if you see here event bubble, so means the bubble is not happening, so that's why this event dot bubble is false. Okay, so in this scenario, like focus, like you can use focus, like focus it won't bubble up, but focus in will bubble. So there are like you can use focus in, or like if you're using focus, then you have to use a event capturer. Okay, so this is for like practical use case for. So then we'll have a stop propagation. Okay, so event flow will happen by default. Like we can enable by JavaScript, like for event capturer. So there is a way to stop. Actually there are two ways to stop a propagation. So one is like we all know, like stop propagation. So if you see here, there's a other way also, that like cancel bubble. Okay, so first I'll just show here. I'll just read something. Okay, if you see here, I have attached like two event listeners. One is for A5 and another one is for A1. Okay, so now I didn't stop any propagation. So when I click on this, like it's just printing both the event listener, the event handler, like parent running and child running. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll just stop the event propagation, like stop propagation. Okay, so if you see now, see, so first it will run this, means the propagation is start from this handler. So first it will run this child running, then it won't propagate, it will just stop. Okay, so other way is like event dot cancel bubble. Sorry. so the cancel bubble, the default value is false. Okay, so if you want to cancel the propagate, you can change the event dot cancel bubble equal to true. If you change the boolean value to true, then the propagate won't happen. So if I click now, sorry, if I click now, see, the propagation is not happening when I click on this child. Okay, so okay, now you will have some question like when to use it. Like, is this a recommended way? Like, can we use cancel bubble in like in modern browser? No, see, in previous, like before IE 9, the stop propagation won't support. Okay, in that case you can use that, you can use cancel bubble to stop the propagation. But in modern browser you can use like the in modern browser the recommended way to use is stop propagation, event dot stop propagation. So yeah, that's all for this. Okay, now we'll see the real example, like where we can use this stop propagation. So consider you are building a pop-up model. Okay, so I just built one. So you can see this, so there's a scenario when users are clicking on this, clicking outside this model, this pop-up model should close. If users are clicking on this model, then this pop-up shouldn't close. In this scenario you can use like stop, you can use stop propagation to prevent that. Like, means, see, what I did is I attach a event listener to the body. Okay, so when I click on this outside this model, so the event flow will happen to the till like body HTML document, right? So in that case, what I'm doing in body, in callback event handler, I'm just closing the pop-up. So here in this model, what I'm doing, if users are clicking, I'm just stopping the propagation, so it won't propagate to the body. So in that case, I'm preventing it from close. Okay, so in this is one of the like real-time example, like pop-up model drop down we can use this scenario like stop propagation. So next is like even prevent default. So prevent default is used to prevent the default behavior of the browser. Consider the checkbox and radio button and the form. So that these element will have a default behavior. Like in checkbox, if you click on this checkbox, it will just check and uncheck. But if you attach a listener, and if you prevent, like even that prevent default, then what will happen? So the when user clicking on this check, it won't uncheck, so it just preventing the default behavior. So it's like prevent default. So yeah, that's all. So any doubt? So do you have any doubt in this example or anything?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gopal, I have a doubt
Yeah.
that I know about bubbling, right? When we use bubbling, because when it in bubble, so event travels from our child to parent, na, from inside to outside
Yeah.
till the top.
Yeah.
So this is clear, but I'm confused when I have to use capturing thing. Like you showed an example in
Mm.
the focus or that method,
Yeah.
because that events don't bubble, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we are using capturing in that event.
Yes.
So in that capturing example, is that events are the only use cases, or are there any use cases that we need to consider for that capturing part?
So even for, you can, instead of bubbling like scenario, also you can use a capturer thing. But the thing is like the default behavior is bubble, right? So mostly if those if some events are not bubbling up, then only we are using a capture. Like I saw some blog, I read, I explored some. So in that case, the real example is like they are using a if events are not bubbling, then they are going to a capturing phase.
Yeah, correct. So I was thinking that the focus that when we are clicking on the labels, right?
Hmm.
Labels, or sorry, the input fields.
Yeah.
So label background is getting changed.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that I can do that with the CSS as well, na, when
Yeah,
I'm clicking.
you can
Huh.
do, yeah, you can, like, you can do with the CSS as well. But this is just scenario, like there are some consider that was too great. Okay, so when you click on this, that time the username should focus on the other element.
Hmm.
So in that case you can use, like, so now the scenario is like, if you click the color, the highlight is happening here also, but if you highlight on some other element, consider,
Okay, okay, okay.
in that case,
So
yeah.
bubbling is more common. Na? I think
Yes.
I haven't used capturing events
Hmm.
till right now, and I have not seen many places this capturing is happening.
Yeah, correct. So now
Uh,
common behavior is bubbling, so that's why no one, like, no, the like best use case for capturing here.
okay, okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, very nice, Gopal.
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing your research on the topic, because the topic is very small, and but you have explained very well in just 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very nice. The examples and all. So guys, just to add a note, so whatever, like Dheeraj was asking, right? So basically he explained the phases of events. What is happening when you click on something, right? So I'll tell you. So Gopal, can you go to your examples where you have shown the divs and all?
Yeah.
Just with both like bubbling and capturing.
Let me just show you. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So guys, what Gopal has explained. So we have 5 nested divs. Okay. So what will happen when you click on any of the div? So what he has done, he has attached event listener to all the divs. So right now you're seeing event listener on the first div, the outer div, second div, inner div. He has attached all the event listeners on all the divs. Okay. So what he wants to show, click on any of the cell. Yeah. So what is happening? by default by default capturing is happening first. In the first phase, it first captures from window. It will come from window body, then outer div, inner div, inside the third div, fourth inside div, then the target element. You're seeing the colors, right? He has shown the colors. Like first, in the purple color, capturing is happening. When you click, it first captures, it first flow comes from window to the target element. See, then it, when it clicks, it bubble up. See, are you seeing this color, right? It is bubbling up. So you have seen, right, the stop propagation. It will stop propagate from the bubbling. It will stop propagate from bubble, right? But capturing is the first step which is happening. But why we are not seeing the capturing in the UI, like in the real example? Because you have not attached a capture event. By default, it is false. So in you, if you go to the code pen, right, just go to the code pen. You're seeing, right, he passed line number 21, 22. He is passing false. By default it's a bubbled. By default it is bubbled, right? But when you pass through, it captures it. It will show, it will execute when it captures. So this is the demonstration which he is trying to explain the phases of events. This is very nice, Gopal. This is very nice. And the way you have explained the events with equal to true and false without this approach, right? So if you have missed this part, just go to that. Yeah. So line number, if you're seeing, right, 4, I think.
Yeah.
See, he's canceling instead of stop propagation. He's canceling using the events. This is very nice, Gopal. Like, and the way you have explored is very nice. And I think the slides and all is awesome. So
Thank you.
guys, have any doubt, you can ask to Gopal now. And if you have any questions, you can discuss now or maybe later on in the Telegram. So